Deadline day drama. Welcome to This Week at Blues. That is right. Welcome back to This Week at Blues. I'm, of course, your host, Joe Hall. This is brought to you by Blues Focus. And I know we're a few days early for This Week at Blues, but we had to bring it out early for transfer deadline day. That is right. As I'm recording this, the clock has just struck 11. Deadline day is over. Now, I'm sure if you're on Twitter on the hashtag BCFC, you've seen my name a lot. I was very active on there. And, as always, if you want to go over there, follow all the socials, keep up to date with what's going on. I also turned into a reporter at one point as well. Long story short, there was a lot of different reports about Blues on deadline day from the journalists I was seeing. So, me, I decided to reach out to the one person I know at Blues and just basically asked for information, which is how I was the first person I'd like to say to point out that the Jordan Hugo rumours were complete waffle. I was the first person that was on that. There was never any interest from Blues, at least from what I was told. I said he wasn't coming and he didn't come, so, trust my source. I also knew when Chong's medical was completed and what the verdict was. I was kept fairly in the know. I'm happy because I was nervous. I was like, I don't know how much to believe because, you see so many contradicting reports. These journalists have got sources as well. So I was like, do I believe them or do I believe, my guy? And my guy came through in the end. But as I just mentioned, I knew when Chong completed his medical and I knew the verdict. Chong, of course, joins Birmingham back on a 4-year deal permanently. What a signing this is. Chong, we've seen what he could do for us in the limited time he got to play for us last season. Obviously, he was injured for most of it, but we've seen what he could do. We have the champ. Chong will tell you apart for a reason. So, it's one of them. Chong back is it's perfect. It's something that we needed. So yeah, as I said, Chong returns on a 4-year deal. And now we have some, less great information. And this comes from the striker we were linked with, Shimanga. I didn't just have to read his name there. I don't know what you're on about. Shimanga. This deal was interesting. I think it varied a lot throughout the day. It was at certain points it was on, then it was off, then it was on again, then it was off again. It was very on and off. And then it was finally the case of, okay, Shimanga's at Wast Hills, he's doing a medical. And then we hear half an hour before the window ends, he's failed his medical. Now, I think with this, I don't like to get too opinionated on this show. I want to give you lot the news and let you formulate your own opinions, but in this case I think I need to, because I do honestly think there's a little more here than a failed medical, because we knew Shimanga was injured. We knew that coming into this. So for him to fail his medical, it's what, how does that, how do you fail a medical? This is what I can't grasp. How do you fail a medical? As soon as I seen that he failed the medical, after what we'd done and after all we'd been through to try and get this deal over the line, to then not sign him over a failed medical, especially when we're not really probably going to be able to get anyone else in, it just didn't make sense to me. My conclusion I came to was it's probably a financial issue. Look, I can't express enough how hard it is to fail a medical. Because a medical, what you got to bear in mind, a medical isn't like what a lot of people think it is. It's not checking that you're good enough, basically. It's not something you have to pass. I don't know how to describe it. A medical's like something, you go in, you do tests, they check your reactions, all that sort of stuff. And then the doctors or whoever performs the medical will take that to the club and give you an evaluation based off it, and then the club chooses to either sign you or not sign you based off that medical. So for how bad the results must have been for this deal not to go through, it's almost unbelievable, especially when, like I said, realistically, we're probably not going to be able to get anyone else. So in my opinion, we should have just took the chance if it was over the medical, but that's why I don't believe it was. I think it probably was more so a financial issue. Now, what that financial issue was, I don't know, but that's just my opinion. And it is like, don't take what I've just said as fact or whatever, pure conspiracy, but my conspiracy. And overall, that pretty much sums up our transfer deadline day. We haven't really done much on the deadline day. Well, I say that we signed Chong, which is huge, but we kind of knew that was coming after Fabrizio's tweet yesterday. Obviously, we had the Josh Maja situation, which, what can we say? Let's not talk about it. It didn't happen. Josh Maja was never coming to Blues. It never existed. Fabrizio's tweet never happened. But overall, deadline day, fairly successful with Chong. Overall, the transfer window, I think it's been a good transfer window. Will it be enough to keep us up? I don't know. I don't have that information for you. But when you look at the positions we needed, left back especially, we've strengthened. We've got a left back now. We didn't have one before. We've brought in Chong, brought in Hannibal, brought in Trusty, a few more lads as well, like key players that we needed. So overall, it's been a good window, I think. And this is what I've tried to explain is, we obviously needed more. But what we've got to bear in mind is Rome wasn't built in a day. We want to rebuild Blues. It's going to take time. It's going to take probably a few more windows until we're in a good place to be in any form of competition to get up. So, yeah, I think we're still a few more transfer windows away from that. But, anything in the right direction is still the right direction. Even if we have to take one step backwards to go 2 steps forward, it's worth it. But like I said, that about wraps up the transfer deadline day news. Let me know what you thought of the window in the comments. Or, like I said, if you want something more personal to connect to me, the socials are over there, both mine and Blues Focus. Go and check them all out. But, like I said, we have nothing more else to talk about. That is Blues Focus this week. We'll be back next week. Probably not the coming Sunday, but the Sunday after. But for this week at Blues, that's wrapped up.